I put DJs and comics along each other as, weirdly, some of the most awkward people you could have at a dinner party. A friend of mine always has a go at me because he's like, why are you talking to the comedians? You could go over there. And you're like, because I'm not going to just wander up to Nigella Lawson or Harry Styles or Stephen Hawking when he was alive and just go, hey. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to stand next to Stephen Merchant and Rob Brydon. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Because it's safe.
Hello, love. Nice hair. Oh, you won't believe what happened to me. Oh, the French, eh? Again, not my words, but the words of the comedian Russell Howard when he does his live shows and makes everyone laugh.
Morning,
what
Russell.
do you call a tortoise in a car? Morning, Russell.
Hello. What a lovely introduction. It's a clear biography of my work.
Yeah.
How do you remember all your jokes? Where'd you get your ideas from?
That's the one, isn't it? Like, what's the worst heckle you've ever had? That's
yes, yeah.
Although, I do have a very good story on that.
Okay. Is it broadcast? Is broadcast?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
The lady at the beginning isn't. But basically, a woman went, my auntie's here. And I said, lovely. And
That's brilliant.
She lifted up a bag and she brought her auntie's ashes. No. Ironically, in a bag for life. So that was the moment.
Wow.
But yeah, and she paid a ticket for her auntie, so 2 for 1.
Did she actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was such a weird experience, but she was like, she's really enjoying it. I was like, oh, great, lovely.
Oh my God.
Is that going to be the selling point for the tickets that go on sale this morning? If you've recently lost somebody,
yes,
buy 2 tickets.
Yeah, it can be. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's welcome.
Bag for life.
Whatever realm you're in.
Yeah.
But there was that story, Ken Dodd used to do that, I think.
Oh,
because
did he?
He would do like 3-hour shows, and his audience were quite old, so on average he'd kill 1 pensioner per tour. Do you know, but what a way to go. Although bad for the ushers.
I've seen some comedy shows and wanted to die.
Well, there is that as well.
Yeah.
Deathly Silence. I always go back to my days when I used to compare.
Didn't you compare at Milton Keynes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Shenley Clock In for Comedy or something it was called.
What a catchy name.
And I think a lot of them were Avalon Comics, which is a big agency. And so I saw a stream of fantastic, like amazing. And this was in the kind of, this is about 1996.
So we're talking the Mighty Boosh era.
We're talking Al Murray as the pub landlord. Yeah. I'm almost certain did Simon Pegg ever do?
Yes, Simon Pegg was a compere in Bristol and was the beginning of his kind of comedy career. A place called the Bristol Flyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And because it was Milton Keynes, I know every roundabout joke because I've heard a roundabout joke from every comic.
So you could do Milton Keynes and Swindon.
I can do them all. And I know I've said this before, but the funniest roundabout joke I ever heard. I know.
You can have this, Russell.
It was a guy who said, he goes, and I can't remember who it was, and I really wish I could. He goes, everyone bangs on about all the roundabouts here. And he goes, my granddad worked in the town planning for Milton Keynes when they were putting it all together. And he told me the story. He was basically, they were all stood there and they're looking at the plans for the city, and he's like, well, we could put the supermarket there, although, to be fair, and he just kept putting his mug down on the table, and then they looked at the end and they went, oh, God, there's a lot of roundabouts everywhere.
Yeah, very nice.
So that was a lovely gag.
Nice. No victim in that one.
Did you ever play there?
Nope. I've got some gigs coming up in Milton Keynes for the first time, actually. But I sometimes go to the train station because I park my car there and then go to Liverpool for the football.
Yes.
Cool. So I sort of randomly...
I'm doing the same in 2 weeks' time.
It's funny, isn't it? So I sort of randomly know a few kind of scousers from the Milton Keynes area.
Yeah. And you know, and that's... is it Superman 4?
One of the Supermen.
My mate's called Jeff. He's not. If he was Superman 4, I'd give him a wide berth.
But how would you
on
know?
a train station? I'm Superman. What's it?
You might not know.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. Milton Keynes Station is in Superman 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently, it's
and
New York or somewhere.
also at the shopping centre is where Cliff Richard filmed the video for Wired for Sound. So there you are.
Wow, you do know everything.
I used to live there. I lived there.
Did you?
Yeah, I lived in Milton Keynes. I'd worked on the radio there.
Excellent.
And I had to go and live in Milton Keynes. And I actually quite liked it.
Of course you did, because you're doing radio and there's nowhere else you want to be. It's sort of...
Well, no, I worked in Stoke and lived there. That was a very different experience.
Well, that's a mistake on your part.
Yeah.
So what, you were working in Stoke and commuting from Milton Keynes?
No, I moved to Stoke, wherever I worked.
Oh, I see.
So I did the local radio route until I made it to London.
Yeah, but that's what everyone does.
It's the equivalent of doing the clubs.
Yeah, of course it is.
But yeah, I lived in an array of different places. But Stoke was just, the whole thing was like a bad sitcom.
It's funny though, isn't it, when you look back at your youth, and I lived in so many different sort of flat shares, and you have those, you know, your brain has that memory of like, there was a girl that used to just smoke weed and watch the original Willy Wonka. And I don't even know her name, but I know I sort of cohabited with her for about 6 months. And I'd come home from gigs and she's like, oh, this is crazy. And like, you need to stop both of those. But do you know what I mean? It's sort of like when you're in that kind of it's almost counterculture twilight years where you're doing radio or you're doing gigs or you're a musician or whatever it is, and you just have a bed.
The radio station at Stoke was everybody who was on the lineup. The whole schedule was DJs who had been fired from other stations or could not get a job anywhere else. Yeah. It was like a correctional facility. And the guy before me couldn't get a job anywhere and literally had to take it and move there. The guy on after me, he'd been fired from a station in Birmingham. I'd been fired from my previous station. It was just like, I think there was one DJ who had not been fired and he'd held that show for like 20 years.
That's what you need. You kind of need to be surrounded with waifs and strays and misfits.
Oh, and DJs are. I would imagine like comics.
Oh,
DJs are really, really weird people.
Yes.
Really weird.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I put DJs and comics along each other as weirdly some of the most awkward people you could have at a dinner party.
Do you go with the route of, because Jerry Seinfeld always says, like, you know, I'm very comfortable around comedians. That's my place.
Yes.
And I'm like, but I've met a lot of comedians, and a lot of comedians are very weird or unusual, so the obvious one is you get somebody who's larger than life on stage and then quite insular and almost moody in real life, barely says a word, and I'm like, I don't want to hang out with those people.
Yeah, it's weird, but then when they're kind of with other kind of comics, you're just a bit like, whenever I go to like a showbiz party, like a friend of mine who's sort of, who normally throws those showbiz parties, always has a go at me because he's like, why are you talking to the comedians? You could go over there, and you're like, because I'm not going to just wander up to Nigella Lawson or Harry Styles or Stephen Hawking when he was alive and just go, hey, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to stand next to Stephen Merchant and Rob Brydon. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, because it's safe.
I was at one of those parties once when Stephen Hawking was there. Yeah, and I didn't meet him, but I just wanted to be near him. Because I wanted to hear him laugh.
Yes.
Because somebody would have said something funny, and apparently he had an amazing sense of humour. Did you ever meet him?
I did, yeah. And I was very conscious of trying to make him laugh. Right. And you're sort of looking over, and the problem is because he's got his, keyboard, you're trying to look over the side in case he's like tapping something that says, can we get rid of this guy? Yeah. But you realise it's got to be a big laugh, because obviously it takes a lot of effort for him to... Absolutely. It took a lot of effort for him to laugh, so he's not going to go... He's not got that. Do you know what I mean? So he's either going to laugh or not. He's
also,
really
what does that laugh sound like? Because...
it's drowned out by the fact that you can hear another laugh in this room going... So nobody can get a laugh in edgeways.
Strangest laugh in the world,
yeah.
Actually, isn't it?
You lived with John Richardson. I know that. You lived with John Oliver. Was it just Johns?
I also lived with John Robbins as well.
Oh wow! All the Johns.
All the Johns. I lived with John Oliver when I was staying in London. So I'd come from Bristol doing a gig. Right. And that lasted, and I lost my privileges after about 8 sleepovers before I went, this is never happening again.
Was that his place?
Maybe, I don't know. I think it was somewhere that he was renting, and I was on the sofa.
Was Willy Wonka featuring there?
There was no wonkering there. It was a lot more kind of Daily Telegraphs and Guardians.
Oh, very.
He was in the middle of writing his sort of opus. Yeah. To go to the Edinburgh Fringe, and then I was getting in the way. Wow.
Do you still see him?
I do. Yeah. Whenever I go to London, to New York, it's kind of that wild thing of seeing your mate. There's posters of John everywhere, and I've been to his TV show in the States, and I kind of have that with, oddly, a lot of my friends now. we've all done, you know, the Frog and Bucket or Lincoln University and all these kind of places. So you'll see, like, you know, Greg Davies doing arenas, and we had a big chat about that beforehand, and then you get to see him do a gig, and it's incredible. And I've never really had that kind of, I don't know, envy, because I don't know, there's a shared experience. I've been lucky enough to do stuff. So, like, my friend Al Pitcher is a massive comedian in Sweden. He left this country to go to Sweden and now plays arenas.
Right.
So I go and watch him occasionally do gigs, and he's, you know, on stage, and it's sort of part English, occasionally like flugel, schnuggel, hugel, and the crowd are just like in hysterics, and I don't know what any of it means. And yet you're kind of watching with that kind of sort of love for your pal. Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's kind of cool.
I love it. I love it when people I know have done really, really well and do something, and I'm very comfortable with being like 5% jealous and 95% really happy for them.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit like when. Like, we've had this experience, and don't say anything, because I've got 2 more episodes of The Traitors to watch, but I've got a young son.
Okay, yeah, I've
and
not seen it last night, so there's no spoilers here.
Yeah, so we're trying to finish it today, later on, if we can, in his nap. But watching Alan Carr on The Traitors, like, it's so funny. Yeah. Like, it's sort of that feeling when you forget how funny he is, and who knew that Alan wearing a cloak was enough. Yeah. Like, but we've been rewinding it just to look at his face.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, but it's sort of that thing where you just, I don't know, I like comics, and I like funny people, so
Would you do Traitors?
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Would you?
It's the only one. I've been offered most stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, Strictly or sort of I'm a Celeb. Don't really fancy any of that. But I'd love a go.
Would you want to be a traitor or a faithful?
Oh, faithful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, I would absolutely do it.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, I saw the lineup of...
It's a really good lineup this year, I think.
It is.
And I'm like, there's no way that I'm going to get asked to do it. And then I saw that historian David fellow, and I'm like, I could be with a chance here.
Yeah.
I could be that wild card of who?
Yeah. But it's a bit like that feeling on Strictly. You watch Strictly, you know, very occasionally, and you're like, oh, I know him. Yeah. Like, it's now that. Yeah. It's sort of got to that stage where, you know, it's a wild time to be alive. You can be famous if you eat your dinner and say Bosch. It's a wild time. Isn't it crazy? He's on tour, that Bosch guy. Yeah. He's doing gigs in Australia. He eats his tea and goes, Bosch. And people are like, oh, that's good, mate.
Yeah, let's go and see the Bosch guy.
My lord. He eats his tea and says Bosch. I thought I'd seen it all.
And there you are, writing these stories and putting it all together.
That's what I mean. And you're like, I need a catchphrase. Smash.
Now, this was we were joking this morning before you got in about this. This really tickles me. The tour dates that I have in front of me to go and see Russell live. By the way, this morning, new tickets for the new shows go on sale at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Please do.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
can.
Yes.
Because he's very worried. He's only sold the 130,000 tickets so far, and there's another 40,000 tickets now being added.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Stuff the arenas. Look at this. What a lineup. What a tour.
Yeah, well, it's the cool thing is you kind of get to be in a theatre for like a weekend. So you do like Thursday to Sunday, and they're kind of like sort of 2,000 seaters. And the cool thing is everyone's got a great view.
Yeah.
Versus if you're doing like the O2 or something like that, it's just, you're in the heavens. It's a bit like...
Do you make the dressing room your own for a few days?
Do you know the funniest thing about dressing rooms? You become very aware, particularly if you're touring and you've got a 6-month-old kid and you are in America, you really check who's been on the night before you put your child on the floor of the green. Do you know what I mean? Of going, who's been on? A death metal band. We'll keep him in our arms. Folk group. There you go. Help yourself.
There you go. Yeah.
The new dates are, so if you want, I'm guessing it's the website. I'm guessing it's russellhoward.com.
It's Russell-Howard.
Oh, God damn that other Russell Howard.
I know. Yeah. He's a musician, I think.
Is he?
I'll buy it. I'll buy it for you. I think it's a gift. Nottingham, Stockton, and then the Palladium in London, Plymouth, Portsmouth, Manchester, Edinburgh, Oxford, Liverpool. If you live anywhere near these places, then the legendary Leeds Grand Theatre, Bristol, Glasgow, Cardiff, Swansea, Birmingham, Bath, Southend, Truro and Brighton. These are the dates for next year that he's just added because the whole show is sold out.
Yeah, it's very lucky. And
tickets this morning at 10.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Here's our little joke that we were joking about this morning. We were going to invite you to our gig. Dominic and I are doing a gig.
We are.
It's Friday the 23rd of January. We're playing the London Palladium.
Oh, great.
We are. Yeah.
And you are playing the Regent Theatre in Ipswich.
Okay, you're winning.
Loser.
Winning.
But then we found out, Russell,
That you play the Palladium
They do
on
4
Thursday the
nights.
5th, Friday the 6th, Saturday the 7th, and then Sunday the 8th of February.
Yes.
It kind of rains on our parade. And then you've done 130,000 tickets to another 40,000, which will probably sell out today.
Doesn't matter. It's what a room though. Have you done it before?
we've been on, weirdly, we've done plate spinning with Ross Noble.
Have you? Of course.
We did the last 30 seconds of Ross Noble's last show at the Palladium because he was on the show and said, we should get you down. So we literally span plates for 30 seconds. That's our experience of being on stage at London Palladium.
And now we've got it for 2 nights.
When you talk about people you love, like Ross Noble, God, just my hero. Like, I interviewed him for my podcast the other day, and it was a bit like a 14-year-old girl meeting Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? It's sort of, I love him. I love him so much. He meant so much to a whole bunch of us when we were kids, and he wears his genius so lightly.
He sat in that chair just a couple of weeks ago, even if that, and he goes, because he was kind of part of us playing the Palladium, as in we've been saying for ages we want to play the Palladium. He's like, well, I'm playing Come Down. Yeah. Let's do something. Why don't you come on the end and spin plates? And we did.
And literally that's what we, And
then he's in the other day and he goes, we need to talk about this. Not only are you now playing the Palladium, you're playing 2 shows at the Palladium and they're both sold out. And he's talking to us about that. And I went, we've got your tour dates to do. And he goes, oh, don't worry about that. So anyway, listen. So all he did was talk about us playing the Palladium and what you're going to do. And
now here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Will Ross close your show spinning plates?
I think he's going to be back. I think he's over the water.
It's something we looked at. Exactly.
You have to do something with him in some way.
If he was here, 100% that would have been the closer. But here's the kicker. When he asked us to spin plates, little did we know, he can spin plates.
Yeah, well, he's fully carnied up, that
like
boy.
On the stick on the chin and everything. Yeah. So so him bringing us out, I don't think worked. It felt still funny because it was a bit weird and surreal.
It was a bit weird and
us bringing him out, I mean, we're done. That's the closing.
Imagine that, and then he just does an hour. You lot go home, you beat the traffic, Ross is still going. But Ross goes for so long, you get fined.
He's the new Dottie.
He is, man. He is.
All right, so this is unbelievable. So you are on tour.
Yeah.
All of next year. I mean, it's crazy.
It's going to be great.
Have you got the summer off? I was joking that you're DJing in Ibiza, clearly, because you finish in May and then start again in September.
Good. So that's the point. Have the summer off, and there's little gaps here and there, and it's only Thursday to Sunday.
Who do you have to negotiate with about tour dates? Is there any person particularly at home that's going, do not even think about booking any dates in the summer, I want a holiday?
Oh, well, not really. My wife's amazing and sort of... so we just sort of, this is the year of touring, and then we won't for a little while, but we've got a little, so our son's 15 months old now, so I kind of want to be around a wee bit more, and like all the half terms are off and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's great.
And do you say to your wife, you go, listen, here are the dates, if you want to come and join me, and does she go, let me have a little look, Ipswich, no, Nottingham, no, Warwick, no, Stockton,
It's
no.
like that,
London's handy, basically, Derby, Bath, Sunderland, don't think so. No, I'm good.
Yeah, but then, there's loads of places, and also, because I've toured every inch of this country, I know all the kind of the good hangs and the nice kind of places for brekkie, and also we've got a little boy, just need an aquarium, ducks. Do you know what I mean? Very easy.
Aquariums are great, actually.
Mate, isn't it?
If it's raining outside, you go to an aquarium, it's fine.
The best thing in the world. Yeah. And then, it's slightly strange for kind of, that's the other thing, the only thing that's slightly weird about being a dad, when you kind of recognise, you do all the kind of dad, going swimming, and then there's this moment where there's kind of other sort of mums and dads who are like, well, that's Russell Howard, and that's what his nipples look like. Not that I've got weird nipples, but you know what I mean?
How many do you have? Just the 3?
Just the 3, it's fine. Full Lily Allen. But it's I think she's got, it's her and Scaramanga, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know how I know that. Just some bit of trivia somewhere.
Yeah. Wow, what a life you lead.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. It's amazing what you pick up at these Jimmy car parties, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, so there you go. We've done the great sell. I mean, the fact that it's done 130,000 tickets for this sold-out show and he's had to add dates tells me that you need to go and get tickets to this. So 10 o'clock this morning is when they are out. If you go to russell-howard.com, and then get your tickets this morning and go and have a great night.
Come and have a laugh.
Is it just you on tour?
It's just me, probably a support, but I might do 2 halves. I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
but
nice.
I'll get somebody, and then I'll do like about hour and 40. Just prattling along.
What do you think is good for me and Dom to do at the Palladium? I was saying 40 minutes, no interval, get off.
Yeah, well, that's definitely your bare minimum. That's kind of
it's the Sarah Silverman approach, isn't it?
Yeah, right, mate. That was crazy. But the funny thing is, in America, they do. It's so different because I've seen great comics go on stage in the States, and they have like an opener that does 10, someone that does 15, then someone that does 20, and then there's no intervals, and then the headliner does 40. Or 50, and the first 20 they're kind of spanking it, and then they get their notes out, and they're all in this,
really?
they're working towards the special. Can you imagine charging people money for tickets and then pulling out notes and go, just going to work for you a few ideas? You're like, get ready for fruit and anger. But it's
if you're lucky.
If it's you guys, I think. Like, and do you have a show or is it riffing? What's the
we will have a show.
Yeah,
we're sort of writing a show.
2 halves then. I would do 2 45s.
Right.
Or like a 40 and like a sort of 45-50.
Yeah.
Because then it's that nice kind of, you can say have a break, send them away if you've got a question or something, and then they can have a chat. And
they get a chance to escape if they want to as well.
Yeah.
A 20-minute window.
Exactly, and you still get paid.
Yes, still get paid anyway, so it's fun.
But that's what I would do. It's kind of then it feels like it's a bit of a hang.
Can we now, but can we contact you later as we get nearer to the gig for some leftover jokes that you have?
Absolutely.
If you've got any spare jokes?
Yeah. Go to my brother. My brother takes all of my stuff that doesn't make it, and sometimes stuff that does.
Does he?
It's so lovely. He'll ring me up. He goes, "Do you remember that joke you done on your second special? Did it in a work meeting today. Absolutely ripped it like that." And you're like, "Okay, great." And then occasionally it's like, "Yeah, your third TV show, you did a line there, didn't work." You're like, "Well, it worked then, and it was 17 years ago." No one knows who Gordon Brown is anymore. Well, that's on you then.
Yeah.
So what about that Prime Minister? I mean, Margaret Thatcher, right?
Yeah, but it's my favourite. I love my brother though. It just.
What does he do?
He works.
Oh God, I've got to wrap this up.
Okay, he works in admin in some form, operations management, and but he comes to all my shows. He used to come to all my TV shows, and the great thing, his laugh. When you think about Jimmy's laugh, my brother's is like like that. So he was never allowed in the audience. He had to sit in with the lawyers.
Go and get your tickets to Russell-Howard. They go on sale at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much
Have
for having me.
lovely
Lovely to see you,
weekend.
Russell.
And good luck with your retirement. Are you leaving?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, James is off.
Good luck with your
Thank you.
your arse tomorrow, Dominic.
Thank you.
Going to be screaming like a meerkat.
Or in about 10
mine
minutes,
as
Russell.
well.
And yours, Chris.
I didn't even have any hot sauce.
Yep, this is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Russell Howard.
See you later.
Radio X.